G'day and welcome to the GameFace Footy Show, MPNFL Division 1 edition. I'm joined on the couch by two absolute legends of MPNFL. You agree with that straight away? Give me a yes or a no.
Maybe not Blackwood.
Tony Blackwood and Chris Holcomb. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good on you, Holks.
Robbo.
Robbo.
How are you?
Looking good, boys. Looking good. Two blokes with the nice stubble and one bloke without.
Yeah.
We're going to work on that.
Yeah.
It makes you look younger.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Fresh face, young kid.
What I don't like is the grey hairs and the beard. Holks.
I know, I'm hating that at the moment, but I don't want to go the comb through just yet.
Yeah, not just yet. No.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, Robbo, it's a start of another season, isn't it?
It is. We're back. How do you feel about it, boys? You ready to go?
Oh, yeah. And there's some cracker games straight away, Holks, isn't there?
Yeah, no, I'm ready to go. It's been a long pre-season. I think because of the way that we finished last year and how exciting it all was and wrapped up, it's been a little while, but we're ready to go again.
Well, we've had plenty to talk about over the break with that grand final down there. Pines obviously taking it home. But we're into it, and it starts off with the Toe Punch Shield. Can you talk me through this one? Because YCW versus Sorrento looms as a bit of a match.
It is. Well, you were obviously close with the Shield.
Yeah, and last year they the two presidents got together and they wanted to reward Andrew for all his hard work, and you know Sorrento has been such a dominant club, and so has YCW. And last year they came together, and over Easter last year, YC won the first Andrew Kelly Shield, or the Toe Punch Shield.
Massive crowd, wasn't it?
Massive. And then later on in the year, Sorrento at home were able to beat YCW.
YC put him to the sword that time. That first time was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was for the YC supporters and all that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Sorrento got the last laugh, didn't they?
Well, they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, it's fantastic what footy clubs can do for communities and people that actually, you know, important people around football clubs.
And it's a great way of remembering
Yeah.
a person that put in so much to local football.
We'll talk about that. What sort of stuff? I mean, was he...
Paul, yeah, he started at the same time as me, Robbo, and he was a young journalist trying to find his feet, and he started down, I think, one of the Rosebud papers, and then the Independent News and all that sort of stuff, and then he got to be writing into the Football Record. He did a lot of calling of the games. He did a lot of radio as well. So there was not much that Andrew Kelly didn't do.
Yeah, good on you, Andrew Kelly, and they will tee off YCW versus Sorrento to honour him in the Toe Punch Shield. So GameFace went to Mornington and we interviewed Simon Goosey. Everyone knows who Simon Goosey is from the days he's played in the Legends game. He'll tell you he's a legend, a goal-kicking legend. Holks, I'm going to throw to you with this one, mate. Your club.
Yeah.
It was a good night?
Yeah, no, it was a great night, and it had some exciting news. There's a committee that's been working really hard over the last probably 3 years to improve their facilities down there. Mick Wonderly and Marty Scanlon were the two that were involved in that, and on the night, Greg Hunt, the Liberal MP, were managed to release that Mornington were going to get the grant that was going to see them take over. I think it was $2.6 million for their
a new complex, is it going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be a mixture of a few different groups around Mornington.
So it's more a community.
Yeah, like a community centre.
Yeah.
As well as having some Bays Hospital Wellness Centre in there as well. So
will that go in the same place where the existing club rooms is?
Yeah, there'll be addition onto that, and yeah, look, I think it's going to be massive. You'll be surprised how big the unit actually is. But
it's a great viewing spot, isn't it? Up on top of the hill there.
Fantastic ground, fantastic ground. So yeah, they announced that at the season launch, and there we go, ghosts in here.
We're falling apart.
They announced that at the season launch. So yeah, it was. They're all pretty excited down there.
Absolutely, and we caught up with Simon Goosey to have a bit of a chat about things happening down that way.
When it comes to legends in the MPNFL, they don't come much bigger than Simon Goosey, who's back at the kennel for the second year running. What's happening tonight, Goose? We're at Mercedes-Benz Mornington. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, we've got our season launch here where we introduce a few new sponsors, make a few announcements, and just before the start of the season.
And Mercedes-Benz, this is their second time round. Surely they've got an E63 parked out the front for you that you'll be driving home tonight.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Well, they've been the last 5 years, but this is the second year they've been on the jumpers. So, yeah, hopefully Chris can look after me and put me in a Mercedes. That'd be nice.
So, mate, good turnout. Plenty of numbers here, and class act having it the season launch at Mercedes-Benz. Who came up with that idea?
Yeah, well, last year when they come back on board on the jumpers, the club had the idea. We have it down here, brand new facility, and a ripper place. So just to promote Mercedes a bit.
And you've had plenty of practice matches, having a big hit out this week against Williamstown. I understand. How the boys looking, Goose?
Yeah, look, we've probably my second year. I've probably treated this year a little bit different to last year, where we were trying to put the best side out in the park each week, and I think we had 3 or 4 practice matches, or 3 fair dinkum practice matches, and look, we didn't put a foot wrong, but look, we probably had a few injuries, and the last practice match we got injuries, and then from round 1 onwards we started to get injuries. So this year it's been more about putting, a group through, preparing blokes to play senior football. A lot of blokes that have played senior practice matches haven't played a senior game of football. So it's probably, to expose them, and this week's probably our dress rehearsal.
Moving from the Mornington season launch over to the Pines season launch, obviously that was going to be a big affair, guys, because of what happened last year. Did you catch the documentary that GameFace did about their grand final win?
I certainly did. You
yeah,
watched it, didn't you?
It was fantastic,
Yeah.
and the way that they presented it, and I think that they showed it at the room there, Robbo.
Yeah, everybody in the room actually got a copy of that documentary. It's a ripper. Get on the GameFace app if you want to check it out. You can see it on Facebook. You'll see it on YouTube. We've got it out everywhere. It's that good. Bendigo Bank actually presented the Pines with a cheque for $5,000. Obviously a big year for those guys. Good feeling in the room. Glenn addressed the crowd. Glenn from GameFace here, and got a standing ovation. They must be happy.
I think they're happy with. Yeah, I think they're happy with what they've. He's been able to present.
Yeah, and why not?
And
Looks after there.
it's wonderful to be able to have that after such a marvellous year that they had.
And it didn't start out well for the Pines, did they? Started slow, and they were able to get some momentum through the season.
Yeah,
and finish
they lost
it off.
some early games, didn't they?
Oh, they were ordinary early, but that was due to the fact, obviously, with Darren out and a few injuries. So it might be the same this year.
Yeah, it looks like that's because big outs for week 1, boys. Talk us through it.
Big
Yes.
Aaron Edwards is out, isn't he, Holtz?
Yeah, he looks like he's hurt his hamstring. So like last year, it might be 5 or 6 before we get to see Aaron. Also Chewy. I mean, I know we know he's 54 now, trying to play through the midfield, but
Is his a soft tissue injury? Or?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. I just know that.
But
he
my
might be
understanding
missing
is
his
that
first week.
he might miss the first couple of games.
Yeah, well, they also had Bongo out last year too until round 4, I think, suspended from after one of those finals.
He was.
So it's nothing new for them, but I think they've got a better spread this year to be able to handle that. And I think Nick Marston too down at Sereno might miss the start of the season. I'm not too sure.
Okay. What's happened with him?
Well, I can make something up, but I won't. But I think he's due to miss.
Yeah.
Good on you guys. Well, that's fantastic. You got to have your best kettle out at the park, don't you? I mean, it's just the way it is. You can't have too many injuries. You just won't go too far. So physios are very important. Coach of the week. It's not necessarily the best coach, obviously, who coaches the best. We're just going to present coaches to everybody out there, see what's going on at Clubland. Team of the week, boys. How are you going to do that?
Well, we had a crack at that last year.
Yeah,
Tone?
yeah, and I thought we did okay. I mean, there was a few people that weren't happy with some of the selections, but that's going to be the case all the time, isn't it, Robbo?
Yeah.
We got a bit of a hiding at times last year. Even after the grand final footy show, I got peppered for about 5 minutes after the cameras went off.
You put yourself out there. You try to help people out, tell them a bit of information. You put yourself on a pedestal, and they'll just bring you down. That's Australia.
Oh, we love it, though. We love it. That's what it's all about.
We love footy clubs for that, and we also love footy clubs because they give us the next generation of young kids coming through, and we get excited about that. Hopefully they can make it all the way through to the big leagues. But under 21 players, every week we're going to be talking about those guys. How are you going to present that to us, boys?
Well, most of the really good under 21 players, they sort of go and play your VFL or TAC and then go through the system. But,
so they've played TAC, probably not been able to get a game at VFL level. They might have done the pre-season there, but they're the sort of players that we'll be looking at, Hawks.
There's a lot of talent through. I think at the inner leg side last year, I think we had about 5 or 6 under 21. So there's definitely some talent there. So it's good that it gets recognised.
Hawks, for Mornington, for instance, you got a lot to do there. Obviously, do they have a feeder club? Juniors come through, and what do you do in terms of pushing them up? Where do you send them?
Yeah, Mornington had 4 originally feeder clubs to go through to their under 19s. But gradually other clubs sort of got around that, and now they really do spend a little bit of time with their under 16s, under 17s, and they actually try to recruit through there. So you've got to be on your guard as a local club even to that level. So Yeah, it's
Never know
it's
who's
pretty
lurking
fun.
around the corner,
No.
stealing all the young
You
players.
say that with a smile on your face, don't you? You've done that before, Tony. Yeah, that'd be right.
Well, as long as you're not one of those clubs that holds young kids back because you want to keep the
Nah,
talent
you want to
within the club.
encourage them to play the best level that they can.
I don't
Absolutely.
think we've got any clubs around like that, and the level of talent in those kids, you want them out there. So, yeah, they get the stage to play on, and they do it well.
Boys, when you go to the cafeteria when you're at the footy, what's your first choice? What are you looking for?
Did you go? What about at Devon Meadows yesterday, Hogs?
Oh no, I didn't grace the canteen, mate. But I always look for a dim sim. I don't mind the dim sims, just depending on the temperature of the day. A hot dog,
Yeah,
not a hot dog.
it was a good day for a dim sim.
That was a good day for a dim sim.
Yeah.
But a burger's always good if it's cold and all that sort of stuff.
Fried or steamed dim sim, just quickly.
Well,
Steamed.
again, it's
Depends on how you're feeling in the guts.
Well, it's hard, right?
We're all
You're
the same.
still, yeah.
We're all the same. But
yeah.
I'm not the shape that I used to be, right?
Maybe if you're coming home from the pub, a fried. Maybe if you're at the footy, a steamed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my.
something clubs are doing really well these days is a burger, though, boys. And it's not necessarily it's at the canteen. It might be just at a barbecue on the grass hill somewhere, and they're really looking after you with a bit of onion and added extras. So we're going to be running a competition this year. We're going to bring you and present you the best burger within the MPNFL.
Well,
what
there's
do you look
enough
for?
cameras out there, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. What do you look
I
for
like
in
the
a good
beetroot
burger?
and
though?
the
Yes.
yeah, I like an egg as well.
Yes.
I like a bit of pineapple in there.
Yes.
Yeah, pineapple.
Just throw it all in there.
Jeez, that's going to be cooked onion, I reckon. I really like that. Bit of melted cheese over the top.
Oh gosh, yeah, you got to work hard at it. You got to work hard at it if you want to sell a good burger, all right? If you want to win this competition. Speaking of working hard, we've got some upcoming games, boys. Round 1, we're excited. Talk me through. First of all, Mount Eliza versus the Pines, big game.
Yeah, it is a massive game, but like we were talking about before, Pines were a really slow start last time. Won't be any different with Chewy Scanlon and Aaron Edwards out.
It's going to be a new look Mount Eliza though, Hawks, isn't it?
Well, that's it. They're unknown with Nick Clarenbold taking over the reins there, and they had an exodus of those players. The Freeman boys gone.
Well, goal-kicking players.
Yeah, exactly. Gormley.
Yeah, Gormley's another one. And my understanding is that Booth might be one of those guys that might go as well.
Yeah, well, they've had such good depth
Oh,
over the
they're
last
wonderful
few
depth.
years. The under-19s are fantastic. Their twos are fantastic. So now they get an opportunity.
Yeah, and a lot of those twos boys have gone either to Devon Meadows or down to Rye.
Yeah.
So
They'll start with opportunity.
Well,
won't
they need opportunity.
Yeah, but they'll get that there, and every chance to knock off Pines.
Good chat, boys. Frankston versus Bond Beach next up.
Well, I think Bond Beach is going to be one of the sides that, with the list that they've got back, Dylan Jones will come back into the side. Shane McDonald's had an outstanding pre-season, and his form, he kicked 5 against Langwarrin in a practice game.
Yeah, he's top shelf. Bombers obviously coming off that first year up into First Division.
They did really well though last year.
They did, but they just fell away late. I don't know how hard they've recruited. They've kept what they had. But I see Bomb Beach being the big improvers. I don't think they can play as bad as they did last year.
Frankston Bombers lost to Bomb Beach twice last year.
Yeah.
And it's Stanhope Bombers.
Yeah.
But I think Bomb Beach will win that game.
Yeah, I
Bombers have got a new captain in Sam Fox.
Great bloke, Foxy.
Yeah.
Great player. So, but yeah, I'll take Bomb Beach in that one.
On to the other Frankston YCW versus Sorrento. Go.
Oh, this is a cracker.
It is a cracker, isn't it? Especially with what YC's been able to get back to the club from going away and experience at VFL level.
Yeah.
All of those boys come back, don't they?
Well, they always promote their kids to go and play at a high level, which is great. Now you've got guys like LaFontaine, Lilac, who have gone and had a couple of years. They're actually committing to come back to the club and not play VFL. I know they've had a big pre-season, and if you go through some of their names, geez, they're talented, and they just didn't have those on the park.
Painter's back from an injury last year.
Yeah, he is indeed. And I don't think Sorrento started all that flash last year. They took a little while to find their feet, and I think it might be the same thing. I'll probably take YC.
Especially at YC.
Yeah.
A well-attended match might be Rosebud versus Dramana if the weather's good. Who have you got there?
Yeah, it's good to see Dramana in Division 1. I mean, for years, they weren't a really big, successful club, were they?
No, they were always down there. And look, Hulks, they'll be thereabouts, but I don't think that they'll have the firepower to be able to win enough games throughout the year.
Yeah.
I think Rosebud, Nick Jewell comes on board. I think that they've probably had a more intense pre-season.
Yeah.
I think Greg Bentley's going to be an outstanding player for him this year.
He's almost like a recruit, isn't he?
Yeah. my understanding is he's super fit, and I saw him down at Bunnings, and he does look fit. Yeah, he was eating one of those sausages down there.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
He didn't slip on the onion on the concrete, did he?
But I think at Rosebud at home, and they'll have their new club rooms. Will they be open?
Yeah, they will. They're all ready to go.
Yeah.
I think Ricky's done a great job down
Oh,
in Jamaica.
wonderful, mate.
He's changed the whole culture of the way they are down there, and I reckon their first sort of nibble into Division 1, I think that they might get the chocolates over Rosebud.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50-50 split there. Edie Asp versus Mornington the last game, boys.
Well,
we talked a lot about EDS last year, didn't we, Hulks? That
geez.
we thought that their playing list was as good as any,
Yep.
but they just weren't able to link it all together
Yeah, they weren't.
and put it together for 4 quarters.
yeah. No,
So
I believe that, and they've picked up. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing. They haven't lost too many, and they've got Tommy Lamb. He's come down and obviously committed for the year, so that's a huge inclusion.
yeah,
A
he
couple
played
more
one
from
game
that
last
club.
year and he kicked 5 goals against the Bombers.
Yeah, and look, on the other side of the coin, Mornington, they've lost Joel Miller through, I don't think he'll play for the year. Emilio Bitters has gone back to Haileybury.
Oh, has he?
I don't know if Jai Haddock might get up, and they haven't really recruited too hard. So I think that Edithvale should win comfortably.
Mornington were in a lot of games last year,
Yeah.
Hulks, weren't they?
But they were.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get over the line because of that top-end talent they didn't have. They haven't addressed that in the pre-season, though.
Do you think that they've got a more even spread this year?
No, not really. Not really. I think that Mornington might be down towards the bottom of the ladder. And Edithvale, Yader needs to get these blokes playing together. If they do and they click, they can beat anyone in
Yeah.
the comp.
It's all about clicking on the day, in the season, right from the start. So
Yeah.
good chat, boys. That's fantastic. Footy's back.
It
Yes.
is.
We've got the AFL running for a couple of weeks, but now our attention turns to our local leagues. And
Robbo, yeah, there's 5 cracking games there, isn't there, Hulks?
It is. Well, Division 1's like that now,
Yeah,
mate.
every
It's
game.
Every game. It's fantastic.
Tony Blackford, Chris Holcomb, thank you for your attendance today.
No worries, Robbo.
We are really looking forward to this. That's been the GameFace Footy Show, MPNFL Division 1. I look forward to talking to you two about how round 1 went
Yeah.
down. Get out there and find out all the information you can for us,
Get out
boys.
there and find out.
Yeah, I might go down to Chelsea Langwarrin.
Oh, good on you, mate.
Thanks to our wonderful sponsors. We'll see you soon.